Well, it's a lot less breezy the last time I was here. Last time I was here the waves were hitting and completely coming over this jetty by at least, I'd say at least a good 1.5 feet. They've done that much damage on the shoreline that there's parts of the shore I can see that has subsided, and it's been, the docks took a little bit of a kicking, or the jetty has, I say. See that there? That's a big lump of concrete I got there that is now no longer in the jetty. Let's get some rods in, let's spend the day here, and let's see what today produces, eh? Here we are, another morning, another cup of coffee. It's not been so bad. I've had one run already. It was a little jack that shook the hooks and sent the mackerel that was probably the same size as it back at me. So there's small fish in the area. To this side of me there's a bit of a spawning bay that I know they use. So let's just see what happens today, shall we? I'm fishing by myself. I am self-isolating from the old corona virus. Not that I have it, before anyone starts freaking out. And no, you can't catch coronavirus by watching a video on YouTube before somebody asks the question. It's been a nice day so far. A little bit of rain, it's overcast, but you'll notice that there's not like psychotic winds ripping up everything and flinging it that way. So, should be a relatively good day. I say should, touching wood. I have 3 rods spread out, one with a big rainbow trout, the other with a perch, the other with a mackerel. I just recast the mackerel that the jack pike had picked up. Like I say, the mackerel's that sort of size, and the jack pike's about that sort of size. It was the smallest jack pike I've ever seen on a dead bait rod. So small it could actually have gotten away with being used as live bait. Not that I would use live bait, because that's bad. Naughty. I'm going to drink my brew, make some breakfast, and then I'll see you in a minute. Right, I'm going to spot on some crumb just to kind of get some scent in the water. I have an old bait here that I'm just going to chop up. Get all that put in there. Going to use some krill. All fish like krill. Not an awful lot, just enough to kind of add a few lumps in there. Hopefully get the silverfish in there mooching around as well. Then we're going to use Sonia baits, chunky fish. We're not going to use all of this, we're just going to use a little bit of it. It's important to remember, take all your rubbish home with you. that's about enough. That's about well, I would say about half the bag, shall we say. We're going to need some water, and we're going to need some other ingredients. But first of all, we're just going to use another stick to get everything mixed in. Get everything marinated. I'm going to use some CC Moore liquid salmon. This stuff absolutely honks. So if you're going to do this outside. Don't prepare this indoors because it is absolutely rotten. And that's just a case of mixing it in. I'm going to add some water to it. This is just a little bit of salmon extract. Get some water, just a little bit. Just a teeny bit of water. That might have actually been a bit much, but it's alright, we've got plenty of crumb that we can add to it. What we're wanting is something that's going to go in through a spod or a spalm. I'm using a spalm today. But just something that's going to create a cloud, going to get some scent in the water levels. I'm going to get, hopefully, some fish moving in interested. Actually, that's about the right sort of consistency. It's going to sink. I'm just going to leave it and let it sit there for 5 minutes so it's absorbed all the water and the juice and the oil and all the gubbins. And then we're going to spot it out and see if that helps. And in fact, no, I'm lying to you, we haven't put in the last ingredients, just some salmon oil. Again, we don't need a lot of it. We just need enough to kind of put a bit of scent in. There is a discussion among pike anglers, do oils work? I know, and I keep talking about it in my vlogs, do oils work and blah blah blah. If anything, the oils won't hurt. So I know the carp guys use oil, they use salmon oil a lot, and I know carp and pike aren't the same sort of fish. I know they're wired up differently, but let's let this sit for 5 minutes till it's absorbed everything, and then we'll start spamming it out.
A few moments later.
Couldn't be pike fishing without a bacon sandwich. So let's get this show on the road. Let's just take it off the heat there for a second. Oh, we're stuck a bit. There we go. Gonna fire in some chorizo, and we're gonna have it on some brioche bread. Because you have to spoil yourself. If any of you out there have any sort of breakfast traditions while you're out pike fishing and you want to share them, or you want me to try and cook them, then let me know. I do like cooking. It's one of my outside of pike fishing, cooking's something I enjoy an awful lot. I like cooking for like a bunch of people, because it's something satisfying about seeing other people eat your food and going away happy and enjoying themselves. Something very satisfying about that. Not that I'm a Gordon Ramsay or a fucking gourmet chef, but what I'm saying is, it's nice to be able to cook honest, decent food for your friends, and your friends to enjoy it and afterwards go, good meal, Scobes, well done, thanks for that. So. This is the thing about the Coleman stove. You tend to have very little control over the temperature. But it's alright. We can work around it. Again, it's important to make sure you take all your rubbish home with you and don't leave any. While that's cooking, I'm going to get stuck into this. Look at that bad boy. If sex was a sandwich, that'd be Marilyn Monroe. Right, the wind is kicking up just a little bit, so I'm going to try and spawn in some of our mixture here. It's dead easy. I'm going to show you what this looks like in the margins. So I'm going to put a bit of mostly the crumb, not so much the fish. But you load it up. Load it up like so. Close it down. And that, once that hits the water, that will then disperse in the water. Now I'm not sure how well you're going to see this, because it's like windy and it's a GoPro, but when you see this here, right, see how it's opened up and all the crumbs pouring out of it and sinking down in a nice big cloud? That's what we want. We want to create a cloud of attractant that the fish are going to smell in the water columns and think, oh, that smells nice, I'm going to come in and have a smell at that there. Now I'm casting it over my rods, over these two rods. One's straight out and one's just off to the side there. So in the attempt by casting it over my rods is that the water will carry it down. So if I cast it up there, it'll carry it down, and hopefully that direction there'll be fish coming in from it. This stuff absolutely fucking stinks, by the way. It is awful. Don't do this in your house because it is absolutely stinking. Oh. And then it's just a nice easy cast. Now it's on a clip, so you don't have to give it the beans. Starting to get a wee bit of rain. Nothing that we can't handle. It's just drizzle. But I spawned out a good kilo of that mix that you see me mixing up. It'll just hopefully create a smell in the water column. This is good. It means the fish will start to come to us to find out what the smell is. I'm going to give the baits another 20 minutes or so, then I'm going to put some oil into them. Apart from that, it's been a pretty good day. I've had a fucking awesome breakfast. I'm on a cup of coffee number 2. Life is good. Life would be better if we had like a nice 25-pound pike to show you, but keep the fingers crossed, that might happen. I'm having to find all sorts of interesting ways to put the GoPro, because trying to put the GoPro where I had it before, it got blew over. That's twice it's now got blew over. So you're now sitting in the back of the van. Weather-wise, it's raining quite a lot. Set that there. No more runs, nothing since this morning. I'm going to put my spod rod away. It's really the first time I've used this for pike fishing for a long time. I've done it before with a spod rocket type thing. You know, the ones that you cast out, they sit like that in the water and all stuff falls out of them. That's the first time I've done it with something that actually opens up and discharges the stuff. Quite like this, very good. Spod rod wise, this is just a Foxy Yoss. It's not an expensive spod rod. It wasn't a lot of money originally, as you can see by the front of it there, this rubber thing. I use it for casting with the deeper. You need something with a bit of poke to cast that damn thing, because it's quite heavy. Now do I get this out of there? We go. So yeah, this is a simple process. You cast it out, it hits the water and opens up, and it floats like that there, so all the shit falls out of the bottom of it. Handy little gadget. Put it away here in my bucket. But as we were talking about the deeper, this is the deeper. Now, if you don't know what this is a small castable sonar device. My wife got it to me for a Christmas present. It's actually a really good gadget. You cast it out and it sends like a reading back to your phone of how deep the water is, what temperature the water is, and like a basic what the bottom is like. Now obviously it's not going to be, you know, 100%. The bottom is made up of X amount of particles of clay, but it gives you a rough idea. I use it for feature finding, where I've cast out, like find the drop off or find a ledge or find a snag and then fish to it. Very good. This one's been upgraded now. There's now like a chirp version, like another version of it, but I'm actually very impressed with this little gadget. I'd well recommend it for anyone really. But I'm going to put the spod rod away. I'm going to, I think I might go into Enniskillen town and get some bits and pieces from the fishing shop. I need some bait, so I need to go in there and get some bits and pieces. But today doesn't look like they're sitting in front of me, so I'm going to head tomorrow or Monday down somewhere else where I have a rough idea where they're going to be. I'm going to be heading, the water temperature at the minute is 7 degrees. Pike start to spawn at around about 9 degrees, so the fish are going to be noticing the temperatures getting gradually warmer. so they'll think it's time for me to go into where I normally go to spawn. So I'm going to try and have a spawning day. This isn't going to be a long video today. It's been not very good weather to be doing videography or whatever you call it. But we're out. We're not catching fish yet, but we're still out. Still in with a chance. You won't, as you know, you won't catch fish on the sofa at home. The lake's still very, very high. Massively high. But anyway, let's get this stuff put away a bit. Yep, drizzly. We're on a part of the loch that I know to be a bit slippy, bit of a bollocks to stand on, but it's all good. There's a part of this where there's a small river cutting in to the main loch. This river roach swim up it to spawn. Now I can see roach here because I've seen them scatter in the surface, in the margins. So roach just don't scatter for the sake of it for no reason. There's obviously something there, and we are in quite a big bay. Bay is shallow. Bay is a bit weedy. So shallow, weedy bays are what the pike like when it comes to spawning time. I have my 3 rods out. I have a nice big mackerel on one, a rainbow trout and an eel on the other, and I'm just taking a walk around. Unfortunately where I am there's no place to put a brolly, because as you can see it's boulders, so I'm just going to have to brave it, sit in the chair and hope and hunker down a bit. But we're here. We're fishing, that's the main thing. So here we are, another day on the loch. It's Sunday. Yesterday was a write-off. I had some undesirables arrive down, and well, you can't really fish when you're having to watch all your gear to make sure nobody's going to walk away with it or, you know, do untoward things to it. So I called it and left early. I've come to a place today where I know pike spawn. I've caught pike here in the past. I've thrown the deeper about, and the deeper says it's only 7 degrees, so it's technically it's a bit cold for them, but we're not going to catch them sat at home on the couch. And it's not like we can sit at home on the couch and watch the football, because that's all cancelled. Thank you, coronavirus. I'm a little bit, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a little bit concerned about the coronavirus. I don't understand. I'm not a genealogist, I'm not a doctor, I'm just a normal guy, but I had swine flu and it done the rounds, and fuck me, the swine flu was fucking awful. I had swine flu where it was 2 weeks of running to a bathroom and not knowing what end to stick in the toilet because you're really going to shit yourself a puke. It was awful. Although on the plus side, I lost about 3 stone. A silver lining in every cloud, so to speak. But it wasn't good. It was not good. In fact, the first time I felt human enough to drive after having the swine flu, I was in a place near Antrim in Northern Ireland. And people that know this part of the world will know the Moira roundabout. You go to drive down the west towards home where I lived. I got to the Moira roundabout and literally had to drive into the Moira roundabout, jump out of the Land Rover and pull the tweeds down because there was no stopping it. It was that bad that a policeman actually thought I was drunk driving and breathalyzed me, and I explained I had the swine flu and this is the end of it, and he's like, how long did you have it, and blah 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 blah, and should you really be driving, blah blah blah. But the swine flu was terrible. It was fucking awful. So if the coronavirus is meant to be the same sort of vibe as the swine flu, again I don't know, so don't quote me on that, then you don't want it. So if you know somebody that's not well, just swerve them for a fortnight. Give them that fortnight to shite out their insides. I'm not sure how the country's going to manage if the school kids have to be isolated or off school. I mean, Arlene Foster, she's like the leader, political leader here in Northern Ireland. She quoted 16 weeks, where schools would be closed for 16 weeks. I can imagine the dread that filled some parents with. 16 weeks. Your little miracles would be people, your parents would be strangling them. So I'm hoping it doesn't go to that, but it looks like it will. The football season and the rugby seasons have all been stopped, which is kind of crap because Ulster were doing quite well in the rugby. Rangers were sitting second in the SPL. I'm a Rangers fan, in case you didn't know. I'm not going to argue with you. It's just the way it is. But here's the difference in class. Liverpool haven't won the Premier League in something like nearly 30 years. Jurgen Klopp said if it has to be stopped, it has to be stopped. It's not worth hurting people, it's not worth losing their lives over blah blah blah, we'll just take it in the chin. Whereas the toffee-teethed Neil Lennon basically said the exact opposite. He said, I want the title, blah 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 blah. So, difference in class there. Now I'm fully expecting Liverpool fans to agree with me and Celtic fans to take the piss. Welcome. Fishing wise, 3 rods, red mackerel on one, big eel head. I bought a packet of eels from Fishing Tackle and Bait, the shop I use, and these eels were huge. They were bloody huge. It was a packet of 4 eels, and the eels were like that thick. You know, they were bloody huge big eels. So I've got an eel head out, and I have a big rainbow trout out. Standard ledger rigs here, because I fished here and there's a lot of snags. I'm not, you know, giving fish room. The drags are set very tight. The ledgers are on 10-pound line that's been knotted, so if the lead sticks and snaps, I can lose the lead. I don't care about the lead, it's lead. You know, on the line, on the reels, I've got 20-pound mono, and I'm fishing with the 12-foot 3.5-pound Davlon bait blasters, the BB 330s. So this is a place very much where it is, you get to the rods quickly and you hit and hold, because there's a lot of trees in the water. There's a lot of reeds and weeds and stuff like that there. This is where the pike come to spawn. Now, I'm hoping that I catch something today, because I didn't catch anything yesterday, which was a bit of a drag. But we've got a brew on. I'm going to make a bacon sandwich in a minute, and I'm going to enjoy the day. Also, the house that we've looked at, the wife and I have looked at, it's a big thumbs up on that one. It's now in the stage with the lawyers. So the lawyers are doing their thing, so it'll take between, you know, fuck knows how long they get. Those guys don't work fast at the best of times. So if we're in the middle of a pandemic, you know, I can't imagine them working any quicker. So hopefully, touching wood, we get the keys to move in around about end of May, start of June, which is great because it means that it's June, hopefully it's the summer or start of the summer. It'll be not, you're going to have to move house and it pissing with rain, that's just going to be a drag. But nice house, 3 bedrooms, kitchen, big living room, massive living room, and what's more importantly, a garage, just for me. I'm having a sign made that says man cave, no women allowed. We'll see how long that lasts. But no, it'll be getting into the house, decorate, rip out, do the things to make the house your own, you know. And then when I get time, I'm going to do the garage up, so I'll put shelves in it and have it set up so that it's going to be a place where I do YouTube shit and it holds all my fishing gear. I'm going to put workbenches in and so it'll be like half fishing stuff, some other tools and other bits and pieces. But more importantly, it's a space that I can lock and I can put all my fishing gear and it's not stacked on top of each other. It's in a nice order and I know where it is when I have to go and get it. Because there's nothing worse than having to look for stuff in it all cluttered. And if I have a good workshop, that means that I do the boat renovation. I'm going to do that this summer. I'm going to take the floor out of my boat. I'm going to put some electricals in it, refloor it, carpet the inside of it, give it a good coat of paint, see if I can get a new trailer for it, because I want a boat for next year's pike fishing. When I got the van didn't have a tow bar, so I have to get a tow bar in the back of the van to pull the boat around. Boat I have is a 14-foot Sea Nymph aluminium hulled boat, and at this point in time I only have a 4 horsepower engine, but the 4 horse engine has literally never been used. It was bought brand new and it just been put aside. So have an engine, have all the stuff, have a basic electrical depth finder and everything, but I want a better quality one. But the plan for the boat is rip out the floor, sand it all down, paint it, put carpet in the bottom of it, put a new floor into it, or put a new floor into it, then put carpet into it. Put a compartment in the front for anchors and buoys and stuff like that there, and batteries. Then compartment at the back for, you know, bits and pieces, you know, storage, rod holders. I've got space for 6 rods, you know. So it's just a case of taking a boat away and making it something that I want it for the pike fishing. It's an open decked boat, so it would be good for lure fishing, but I need to rip the floor out, put a new floor in and get it stuck into that. So lots of projects. I'll make the boat one a series in the summertime because it's going to take a while to do it. I'm going to have to order some marine ply and get a jigsaw and speak to one of my friends that's good with aluminium welding, because I basically want the floor to sit on top of aluminium brackets, so the aluminium's not going to rot, it's just going to be there forever. But the space under the floor, I want to have, I'll fill it with foam so it's more buoyancy, but I'll have to leave a track for, you know, bilge water and drainage. But I'd like the batteries to be sat in the front with the wires running on the inside of the boat to the back where the fish finder's going to be and where the electric motor is. And in my head I have a plan, so whether or not we get that plan kind of onto paper is another thing. But so busy, move in, new house, renovate house, decorate house, get gas. Update, still no pike. It's turned into not a bad day actually. It's turned into a really nice day except for the wind. So while we're waiting for the pike to do anything really, let's discuss Just clear this up, a little bit of crap on the lens. Let's discuss some items of kit. Let's discuss the Fox Voyager Cool Bag for 2. This thing. Now, I bought this a while ago and I have mixed thoughts. Somewhat mixed thoughts about it. The handle, or the strap even, is useless. If you're going to walk any further than, you know, a few feet, it will slip off your shoulder. It is useless. But having said that about the strap, there is some really good carry handles at the side which make picking it up, you know, a lot easier. But the strap itself is useless. It's just crap. It does have these things at the back where you can velcro it round to a barrow, which I think that's the main thing that people will do with it, is they'll velcro it to a bar or put it on their barrows. It do has 2 pockets at the side that is very, very good, very insulated. Store all sorts of bits and pieces in there. Currently I'm storing in there my little arm for the frying pan. But these are insulated. The top half is sort of a bit where you can put your luggage, the likes of your cups and your condiments and your stuff like that there. And again, zips up. It's all hardened. The bottom bit is where you'd obviously store your food and your stuff, you know. There is good things about it. There is good things I like about it. Like, you can pack enough in it for a good day session, or for like maybe even a longer overnight session. It's not that hard to lift and to move, you know. You're not going to kill yourself putting all the stuff in it. Things I don't like is that, again, we've talked about the handle. It seems to kind of collapse under its own weight. I don't know why it does that, but hey ho, nothing's perfect, I guess. They do them in now in all sorts of like camo colours and shit like that there. I just got the green one. I picked it up because the old bag I had was falling to bits, but it had lasted me years and years and years. So if I get the same out of this that I did from the older bag, then happy days, I'll be over the moon. So there you have it, the Voyager 2-man cool bag. Pretty good. If they could just work out some of the kinks, like the crap handle with a sling, that would be awesome. Looks awesome out there, doesn't it? Looks amazing. But still no fucking pike. Oh. Suppose I can't change that. It's coming up to 3 o'clock. I'm going to give it to about 4:30, 4:45, and then I'm going to pack up and take a slow drive home. I hope something appears in between then and now. I'd like to catch a fish. Otherwise it's going to be another vlog where I catch bugger all. let's stay confident, let's stay upbeat. It could be worse. We could be one of these sad bastards that's fighting over toilet rolls in Asda. I'd like to take this moment in the video just to say thank you to all the people who've recently subscribed and enjoy watching the content. Sorry there's not been any fish in this video, but today just doesn't seem to have worked for me. But I want to thank you to everyone that's liked, subscribed, shared, comes over to the Facebook thing and does the Facebook stuff. I really enjoy talking to you all, and I want to say, you know, big thumbs up to you guys, so thank you. Also, if you have friends that like fishing and maybe think that they would like the channel, don't be scared to share it with them. Cheers guys, thank you. Just what I needed. Jet skis. Fuck me.